Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Okay, Jen, would you take roll, please?
Commissioner Delser?
Here.
Commissioner Erickson? Commissioner Waldner? Commissioner Abraham?
Here.
Mayor Lindsay?
Here. Before you, you have the March 3rd minutes. Are there any additions or corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of March 3rd as presented.
Second.
Hey, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You also have in front of you tonight's agenda. Are there any additions or corrections?
Make a motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Appearances, acknowledgements, and correspondence. Steve and Jody, you are present? Okay, if you would mind moving up to the table here and using the mic so the people at home would be able to hear, we'd really appreciate it.
My name is Jody Hunting, and we are from Steve's Tire and Service, and the purpose of being here today is informational. We would like to propose, we provide a towing service for Lake County, both city and the county. And currently, there is a tow rotation that Highway 34 and us share, where it goes every other call. And we would like to propose a week on, week off rotation. As business owners, for staffing purposes, it would be beneficial for us to know that, you know, this week we would be responsible for Lake County tows, and it would be easier for staffing.
Okay? Any questions or?
I guess, is this the only area that you service?
Nope. We
Okay.
do, most of the towing from Moody County also. And
Okay.
then we're also AAA providers, and we do towing for Quest and several others, that we're not contracted through,
Okay.
but we also tow for.
And how many trucks do you have on at all times?
We have, three
Three?
tow trucks. Mhm.
Okay.
Two
So,
flatbeds and
right, but say it's your week to be on, and you have a truck down by Sioux Falls and one over in Flandreau. Am I gonna have an officer sitting for an hour and a half waiting for a
Never
truck?
happened yet. No, it won't.
I think one of the larger issues that you need to understand is we don't have the authority to, in my opinion, my legal opinion, we don't have the authority to require dispatch to operate under a week-on, week-off system. Dispatch is going to make those decisions and make those calls as they deem them necessary, along with the officer and potentially parties. And I don't believe there's anything in any of our agreements with the county or under our dispatch agreement that would allow us to mandate that. Now, the city could always ask. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. That's not my decision. I don't vote here. But we don't ultimately have the ability to require that or mandate that in any fashion. So while I'm sure everyone appreciates the information and this commission will have to think about how it deals with it, I just want you to know we can't require it.
Then, you know, just, I guess my question is, like all the surrounding, like Brookings, Minnehaha, all of them do have that. I mean, it's gotta start somewhere.
Well, that's not
I
true.
mean-
I did some checking today knowing that this was on
Yep.
the agenda, and most places don't have week-on and week-off systems. Most have,
Minnehaha and Brookings, I know for a fact.
are those the counties?
County, city, when they're on rotation, they're Minnehaha. You know, Brookings is Brookings County.
Well, Brookings City, as I understand it, uses a list. It doesn't use a
Yeah,
week-on.
it's a rotation, yeah.
It's a rotation. So I think that we're somewhat in line with what's going on. But in the end, my message is the same. We don't have any provision with the county or dispatch to mandate or require or even demand that tows be handled a certain way. To some extent, that's what I'll refer to as a game time decision when people are involved, officers are involved, and dispatch is involved. And they've maintained that autonomy to sort of make those decisions and handle it that way. I just want to give them
Okay.
and you as the commission sort of the legal underpinning or lack thereof on the way it has been handled.
And my thought was, is I knew this was coming too, you know, and I don't have an answer for you tonight. You know, this is something that I think that needs to be researched further, you know, including law enforcement, including, you know, the county, and we have not gotten to that point, okay? So at this point in time, I hear your request, but I don't have an answer for you, and I don't know if they have any more questions than that, but it is something in that I think, you know, needs to have more entities involved, you know, before any, you know, decision or changes, you know,
I would
would
certainly
be made.
encourage you to visit the county.
We are.
Okay,
I guess that's what I would say too.
yeah,
Encourage
and then,
visit
you know,
and-
visiting here, but then, you know, you also don't want to leave out the police departments and the sheriffs and,
Right, and
you know,
she
so.
spoke to Chuck,
okay.
and like I say, I mean, if it's so, it's gonna be, you know, it'd be city and county.
Mhm.
You know, you can't,
Yeah, and I understand the employee staffing side of it, you know, because if you're on a rotation, your rotation could be today and then not again till Friday. Or then again, it could be, you know, today and then, you know, tonight and tomorrow morning, and, you know, we just never know when those accidents are gonna happen, or, you know, when a vehicle's in the wrong location and needs to be moved. So, in your business, and that I really sympathize with you, but at this point in time, you know, there's a lot of players, I think, that need to be involved.
Oh.
You know, and not that something can't be done, it's just, it's gonna need to be worked out with
Right.
a lot of people so that it does work, so.
Yep.
Okay,
No, I agree. I guess I don't know enough about the logistics. I think we
Okay.
need to talk to some more people about, you know, all the pieces of the puzzle, so.
But other than your staffing, there hasn't been any other issues with,
Well, there are some, you know, where, right now, we're every other rotation, and I don't want this to be a complaint session or anything like that, but say there's a 3 o'clock in the morning tow, and the other service chooses
Doesn't
not,
answer.
doesn't answer their phone, we seem to be a backup plan quite often, and we're trying to get away from that.
and the other thing is, on rotation, the way they have it now, just say we do a tow tonight, and then it's his tow tomorrow night, and he don't answer, so we do that tow, he gets the next tow. No, how it should be is when you don't get your tow, you have 2 in a row. You know, fair weather tower, it ain't so bad, you know, take it when you want, you know, that's not, there, we're 24/7, you know, and you take it when you're called, not, they didn't answer their phone, which happens quite a bit, and I'm not picking on nobody, I'm just saying, that that's how it should work, you know.
This way, you know, if we can get it set up where you're week on, week off, if you can't fulfill your obligations to doing your towing during that week, then it ought to be reevaluated.
okay,
You know, say that.
I'm pondering the reevaluation.
Well, you know, say that at some point it did get to be where we could go week on, week off, and during our week, we were able to do all the tows within the, you know, set up guidelines or whatever you have to do within a certain response time. And granted, there's always things that may change that, or, you know, weather related, that if there's a delay or whatever, but say during, just say for us example, during our week, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, there's a DUI, and you call for a tow, we don't answer our phone. To me, that's not filling your obligation of being a provider for Lake County, for the city of Madison, to be a tow service.
Do you have any agreements with dispatch or the county that require you to answer your call?
As a business owner, it's an obligation that we have to the law, to the people that rely on us to do our service. Do they say, you have to answer your phone every time? No. But is that the kind of business you'd wanna run? By not answering your phone because it's in the middle of the night? If you don't wanna tow in the middle of the night, then it's not a good service to be in.
Okay, again, I think there's a lot of parties that need to be involved, you know, and so at this point in time, and that, you know, I appreciate you bringing the information forward. And that, but again, I think, law enforcement, both city, county, and the, county, and, get a group together maybe to see if you can work out what does work, and then if there's some action in that the city would need to take, we'd take a look at it at that
Yeah,
time.
well, like, this was the first meeting, and the county was, or is coming up, whenever that is.
It's
but-
tomorrow, I believe, isn't it?
Okay, I
The
think,
eighth, I think it's a week from Tuesday.
Oh, a week from,
It's the
week from
18th.
tomorrow.
18th, yeah.
18th, okay, okay.
So, yeah, we'll be at that too, so that we can.
but like I said, though,
Okay.
it, it affects both the city and the county, so you gotta,
Yes, no, I appreciate that. It's just that, I understand where you're coming from, I understand the questions,
Yep.
and that, I don't have an answer.
Yep.
Because I think it needs to be involved with,
Right.
too many people to, kind of pool ideas, and come up with something that's acceptable. So, all right?
All right, well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Bet.
Okay, old business, 2013 annual report.
All right, last Monday, we reviewed the annual report document that we are required to publish. It breaks down both the governmental and the proprietary funds. You'll see that document published in the Madison Daily Leader in the very near future. But please note that this document that we went through last week is on a modified accrual basis, okay? Modified meaning some adjustments, okay?
Okay,
Tonight, we're going to review the document that you have in your packet is the statement of activities. This document presents the revenue and the expenses on a full accrual basis, which at the very least, the difference being carves out the departmental transfers. You'll see those netted about 3/4 of the way down the page, the $91,000 offset there. Those are netted out there. So it carves out the departmental transfers. It includes delinquent taxes, but also includes depreciation. So includes delinquent taxes as a revenue, but includes depreciation as an expense. So this statement of activities report here could actually be considered a bit truer picture of our bottom line for the year end. All right, primary and government and business type activities on this report are broken down by expenses, program revenues, and then changes in net position. You will see here there is very little revenue in any of these primary government funds. So you'll see that they all show a net loss for the year. From about $1.2 million in the public safety line item to about $864,000 in the culture and recreation. The middle section there are your business type activities, and those are our services that we provide that are supported by user fees. They all show a net income except for the community center and the recycling center. Now, Aaron Walter probably will hate this full accrual method of accounting that we're doing here because he won't budget a penny more in expense than he'll bring in revenue.
Yeah, his
This
usually
report
matches
here,
perfect.
yep, showing the depreciation that is not a normal monthly expense is reflected in this report. And then also the transfer. This does not include the transfer, and you'll remember that we transfer $94,500 to the community center on an annual basis. Okay, there's your net loss shown in this report here. Recycling center, same kind of a beast. We have the depreciation on the expense side. Also had to do some adjusting entries year end to get the inventory for resale where we needed it to be year end. That skewed your revenue a little bit and reflected then a bottom line loss. Okay? These two, I did go back today and looked at the annual reports from the last several years, and these two funds shown the same way in years past. It's pretty consistent. It is what it is. Okay? Go on down then way to the bottom there, the general revenue. Okay, that's where we're going to feed in our property taxes. Again, full accrual method of accounting. So our property tax is shown at $1.9 million. That's up about $46,000 from last year, but that factors in your delinquent taxes. Okay, so Chuck, when you go to write your story for tomorrow, and last week I told you that your property tax was $1.8 million. Today I'm telling you it's $1.9 million. It's the difference between the cash accrual report that we looked at, or the modified accrual report that we looked at last week, as opposed to the full accrual method that we have to look at this week. All right? Sales tax is nearly sales tax is about $3.1 million, and that's up about $243,000 from last year. And sales tax as a whole, our first penny goes to the general fund, the second penny goes to that 2 cent sales tax fund, and then the third penny is charged on liquor, lodging, and dining, and that goes into the lodging and entertainment tax fund. Okay, so total sales tax from those three cents there, $3.1 million. All right, totals then. Your total, about 3/4 of the way down, your total general revenues is at $5.3 million, offset by the total primary negative number up above of $4.2 million, gives us a change in net position for year end at $1.164 million. Statement of activities. Questions?
The 1.164, how does that compare to year end last year? Did you do that?
Less.
Less
It
than
was a
last
little
year?
over 2 last year.
Okay.
Can dig in and give you some better reasoning later if you like, but yes, I did check that, and this 1.6 is a little bit less than last year.
Okay.
Okay? Likely we'll bring you one more report next week for some additional annual report, and we'll call it good.
Right.
Okay? Anything you want to see? Like this, anything you want to talk about?
Just, position this year versus where we ended up last year, to know whether we're,
Comparisons and-
whether we're balanced or, going the right direction or going the wrong direction.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Other questions or comments? All right. Do we need a motion on this one?
We go.
Okay. Then we will move on to new business. Under new business, authorize the mayor to sign the local government certification for emergency solutions grants program for the Domestic Violence Network of the Lakes Region Incorporated. And I was looking, I believe we have a spokesman here that would like to visit with us on that.
Hello, I'm Christy Vandy Wettering. I'm the director of the Domestic Violence Network here in Madison. We serve Lake and Minor counties. And I want to thank you for giving me a little bit of time today. Just a little bit of an overview. We served approximately 75 people last year in Madison that were victims of domestic violence. 36 of those individuals actually stayed in the shelter for a total of 660 nights. We received about 110 calls on our crisis line, and about 700, that was kind of off hours, what I'll call off hours. We received about 740 total calls from individuals seeking information. Maybe I gave referrals, maybe it was other professionals in the community, but it was about 740 for the year. This grant that I'm applying for provides us monies to pay for our rent for our shelter. It pays for utilities, it pays for some minor maintenance. Even though we do rent, we take some responsibility for maintenance of the facility, and then appliances and some furnishings. We also are able to access through this grant some monies to help victims with rental deposits, rental utility deposits, and sometimes back payments in regards to rents or utilities maybe they've gotten behind. That money comes from this Emergency Solutions Grant, which is brought through the HUD for housing and urban development. So in order for me to apply for this grant, I need an okay from the mayor that we actually exist and that it's okay that we're providing this type of service in Madison.
And this is pretty much the same thing as last year, and it's
Yes,
a
and we've been
continuation.
in existence
Yes.
since 2008, and we've had the shelter since 2010.
Mhm.
And we
Very
shared
good.
with the group what you received last year? Because we remember doing this last year.
Yes, we received about $13,000. That money actually started being used January 25th. They have a strange timeline. But January 25th, it will run until approximately February 18th. And this grant that I'm applying for now will start on the 19th of February. I think I got those dates right. It's close to that. And it will run for approximately 12 to 18 months, depending on their timeline. And at this grant, we'll probably apply for right around 18 to 21,000.
Okay, very good. Any questions or comments?
I don't believe so.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the local government certificate for emergency solutions grant program for domestic violence network of Lake County Region, Inc.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. Authorize the mayor to sign the change order number 4 for the water treatment plant improvements, which are also in your packet. And Chad is not here at the moment. Fred, would you like to make any comments?
Not a lot. This actually includes the reconciliation of city expenses from the road collapse, so that's why the net change order is going to be about $9,000, but it includes everything listed on the change order summary 4. So that's about the extent of that.
Very good. Questions or comments?
Actually, Mayor, I would like to table this for 1 week until Chad's back.
Okay. Does that create any issue?
And we're
Okay.
Should be,
Okay.
Okay.
I would move to table this, the authorization to sign the change order number 4 for 1 week.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to table it for 1 week. Any further discussion? Not? Do we hear, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay. You also have attached some personnel issues. Are there any questions or comments on those adjustments?
Make a motion to approve the personnel as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Under announcements and other business, the Lake County Electronics Drop-Off has been set for April 5th from 9 to 3 p.m. And hopefully in that, the news will get out and people can plan for that. I don't know that we need to have any motion or anything other than that.
Recycling
And
center?
what's that?
Excuse me, is that at the recycling center?
After recycling center.
Say that again.
It's
At the,
at the
oh, yes,
recycling
at the recycling center, okay. And next we have an executive session. Do we have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, and I'm going to take the other one as a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and we will move into executive session. And for the Boy Scout troop and that is here, I want to thank you for coming and give you a little indication of what an executive session is. And I'm going to have David correct me if I misstate this. But an executive session deals with anything that is of personnel nature or financial nature to the city, where the information is not to be public knowledge yet. Okay?
say that's right. South Dakota law provides for very limited circumstances in which this body can meet without anyone else listening or hearing. Some of those examples are to discuss the city personnel. They're entitled to get legal advice from me, the city attorney, in private without anybody else around. We're allowed to talk about pending litigation, lawsuits that the city may be involved in. We're allowed to meet and talk about certain economic development activities that might be currently confidential. So those are examples of what we talk about or can talk about in executive session.
But we need to come out of
But nothing-
executive session to vote on any.
Yes.
Any issues. We can't vote in executive
Yeah,
session.
nothing binding can be done in executive session. It's just to answer questions and try to be more knowledgeable so that when we do come out and discuss it in that, we have a better understanding of what the end result will be. So,
To actually go a step farther, nothing can be decided.
right, in executive session either. All right. Well, thank you. You're welcome to come anytime.